29 of the MSA Formula Championship. Dan Babert is on pole position with Sandy Mitchell alongside. Rafa Martins and ENAAM AHMED are next, then Ricky Collard and Colton Herta. Championship lead at Lando Norris won the first race of the weekend. He starts 7th, then Toby Sowery. Petru Florescu next with James Poole, then Louise Richardson and Jack Buttel. Greg Holloway starts on row 7 with Josh Smith, then it's Darius Carr-Bailey. Amaya Vadiarden next, then Senan Fielding and Tarun Reddy, followed by Matthias Leist, who non-finished after retirement on lap number 1 of the first race of the weekend. So Lando Norris, who took the win in the first race, extended his championship lead. Now Ricky Collard needs 4 points to take 4 points away from Lando Norris to take the championship to the third race of the weekend tomorrow. But meanwhile, we've got Dan Babert starting on pole. The reverse grid races, I've got to say, the format that Ford have, of course, introduced for Formula Ford last year and carried forward into MSA has been superb. The reverse grid races have, in some cases, been the most entertaining of the weekend, where they've mixed the grids up.
Yeah, it makes it very exciting, and obviously it's good for someone like Ricky, who is able to be in front of Lando now, to try and take, like you said, some points off him. He needs to try and put a car in between him and Lando in this race. Obviously Ricky is going to be trying to go for that win. He's won many of the reverse grid races. Lando has never done that well in the reverse grid race, so it'll be interesting to see what he does now when we're right at the end of the championship.
Lando Norris, the 4th car on the left, the number 31, the blue car with the yellow trim. Ricky Collard is the car immediately in front of him, the red car with the 11, the yellow nose, the lights are going on. And away we go. Look how much spin there is here late in the day at Brands Hatch. So Dan Babert doesn't get a good start. Sandy Mitchell, one of the youngest drivers in the race, looks round the outside. Rafa Martins is challenging Babert for second place. Martins in the SWB car goes up to second place, but it's Mitchell leading. Martins second. We've got rookies first, second, third, fourth at the moment.
Ahmed trying to go any outside of Babert there. Looks like he's made that one work. He's right up behind Martin now. Collard is in 5th place. So let's see if he can make some more place up. You've got the Arden leading, Arden 3rd and Arden 5th. So they're obviously going to maybe be some team orders to see if they can get Collard further up the grid. But you've got one of the Carling cars going outside of 2 of them.
Yeah, that's Herta going through. So Herta's had a mega start in the number 10. He was in the shout, or with a shout of the championship coming to Brands Hatch, but very clearly, although he's not in the mix now to win the championship, wants to make an impression in this race and goes through on the inside of Dan Babert. So cracking racing. Toby Sowery is right behind him as well. Then it's Ricky Collard in 11, and that's the battle for the championship. The red car of Collard and the blue car of Lando Norris. That's the battle for the championship between those two, and Collard needs to take points away from Norris in this race.
He needs to put a car in between them as well, because at the moment as we speak, I think Norris is going to win the championship, so Collard is going to have to move forward and try and put some space between them. But look at Ahmed all over the back of Martins. You got Herta chasing them down as well. Babert obviously had an awful start and has dropped further back into 5th place now from pole.
So across the line, the man who won at Thruxton, I said one of the youngest drivers still in the championship, Sandy Mitchell from Rafael Martins in 2nd position. Then it's ENAAM AHMED. ENAAM trying to get points to win the rookie championship this year. And Dan Tickton not with us. We'll talk about that. Colton Herta's coming in.
Ahmed tries to go on the outside of 2 of them. He's gone from 3rd into 2nd, nearly got into the lead. Fantastic move to get around Martins. Now Ahmed up to 2nd. Can he make a move on his teammate? You got Herta looking very racy as well.
That's why he's a world karting champion, isn't it, Ahmed? What a move that was.
Absolutely fantastic. It's been done before. It's usually done on one of the early laps.
Herta's having a go now. Sorry to cut across, Phil. He's all over the back of Rafael Martins, who looked reasonably happy when I went and spoke to the SWB team this morning. Let's have a look.
Vadiarden has run a little bit wide, went out of clearways. He should get away with that.
Yeah, looks like he's managed to drive through. So we've got the 2 teammates fighting it out for the lead. Sandy Mitchell, you can see, tilts his head slightly, looks in the mirrors, but look at the battle between Collard and Lando Norris. Collard in red, Lando Norris in blue. If Norris shadows him here, he'll take the championship. It's as simple as that.
Exactly, and Collard will definitely not be letting him through easily. You've also got Florescu coming into this well, but I'm sure Florescu knows that he needs to stay away from his teammate Norris. But Collard definitely needs to get his head down and make some place up. You can see now, look at Norris all over the back. Collard's making it very difficult for him. But the more he defends, the more the guys in front are going to pull away.
Is that going to be Collard's plan here? He obviously won't want Norris to get too close to him, but if he could force it back.
Trying to create a lot of heat into his tyres. He's obviously struggling with a bit of grip, so he's obviously got a very cold this evening. So he's trying to create just a bit more heat so he can attack to move forward.
Spoke to both of those guys together this morning in the build-up to the meeting, and they seem to get on well too. You know, out of the cars, they seem to be good friends, have a lot of respect for each other. But on track, of course, they need to get stuck in. Sandy Mitchell doing pretty good at the moment, still out front. Hasn't had a time at the front since we saw him at Thruxton, but he's making the most of that. Probably come back next year, Sandy.
And they're both also battling for the rookie championship as well. Obviously, without TikTok now, we've got Sandy Mitchell and Ahmed second and third in the rookie championship, so they obviously need to beat each other. I think I also saw Collard just run a little bit wide coming out of Surtees. That's allowed Norris back into this. He needs to get past Baber if he wants to keep his championship, and it looks like he might be able to. Baber makes a mistake coming through Hawthorne.
He might wipe Collard out, mightn't he? That's what we might have, but I'm sure we won't see another mistake from Baber like that. But now Norris is closing up once again, and Collard will be keen to try and go through, putting pressure on Baber in the 14 car, so Collard in 7th position.
Norris is looking down the inside of Collard, but he's not going to make that one work. Collard's got it covered. But you can see after that mistake that Baber made, that's brought all these guys very close together. You've got Norris defending from his teammate.
Here's Norris getting defensive. Now, when we're talking about the rookies, obviously we mentioned that Dan Ticktum is leading the championship, but he was excluded completely from the Silverstone meeting. And as a result, the likes of ENAAM AHMED and Sandy Mitchell are going to be trying to score as many points as they can to claim the rookie championship here.
Yeah, Ahmed obviously got a rookie win in the previous race, and that's put him right. Oh, Baber's run a little bit wide. He's gone wide again. He's on the grass.
He's come back.
Allowed Collard's
through
around the outside. Is Baber going to touch him? No.
Oh, that's the 4 points that he needs. But here comes Lando. He's trying to go through on the inside. He's not going to take no for an answer. And Lando Norris is coming through. Needs to make the place to secure the championship here, but he's got cars all over the back of him. Senan Fielding. Is that Senan Fielding that's come through there? I think it is.
Yeah,
yes,
you've got James Pull as well, so he's also in the mix. You've got Fluescu. You've got one of the double R cars as well, so you can see Norris all over the back of Baber. Baber is struggling for pace at the minute. Fielding is right up the gearbox of Norris. Is he going to try and make a move into the next corner? He's got it covered.
He has got it covered at the moment. Fielding piling the pressure on. Fielding has come through from the back of the grid with Matthias Leiss. They've come right the way through. They had problems in the earlier race number 1 of the meeting, so Collard getting away. Baber driving his heart out there to try and defend from Norris, then Senan Fielding. Norris has got some quick boys around him here, and Collard's getting away and down the road, which is great for him. Still Sandy Mitchell out front from ENAAM AHMED. So they go through. Collard goes out of shot. There is Baber, and now Fielding all over the back here of the man who'll start on pole position for the 3rd race of the weekend. So here they come, up across the line once again. Here's the battle for the lead. ENAAM AHMED challenging Sandy Mitchell, still there. Raphael Martin's still there in 3rd place. Colton Herter in 4th position from Toby Sowery. Now look at the number 3 car of Senan Fielding getting stuck in as well. Matthias Leiss right behind him as well.
Fluescu and Paul making contact. They've managed to untangle themselves there, but that's bringing Richardson into this as well, so Fluescu's lost the place. Josh Smith as well. And you've got Leiss as well trying to get past Fielding. No, he's going down the inside of Baber, but Baber looks like he's going to just give enough room, but just drive around the outside. It's very easy to defend there.
Yeah, that freed Norris up just a little bit there, didn't it, where Leiss was coming up and having a go at Senan Fielding and took the pressure off Lando Norris, who's on the outside line here. He's going to have to be careful of Fielding, looking up the inside, and Norris...
Oh, he's got him on the outside!
Has he done it? Can he hang on? He's got him! Great stuff!
Baber's now trying to cover off Fielding, and he's now put Leiss on the grass. Leiss is going to go through the gravel now. He needs to try and keep it rolling.
Oh, 2 desperate races for Leiss. He's going to be retirement again. Out to the grass. Dirt on. Yep, he's going to rejoin, but he's going to be stone last again.
Yeah, that's a disaster for Leiss, but yeah, Baber obviously struggling for speed at the minute, but yeah, Norris has got back into the championship now, hasn't he?
Yes, he has. So, at the moment, as it stands...
Fielding on the inside of Baber. Great move from Fielding.
Yeah, Fielding's determined. Now, remember, he caught up with Lando Norris earlier on, but not at half distance. Now, James Pull is coming into the mix as well, side by side with his former teammate, and literally drove round the outside of him there. So, James Pull passes the erstwhile pole position man to move up a position. Baber's going to be very frustrated starting from pole. Louise Richardson coming under pressure from
Fluescu going a bit outside of Richardson, but he's run a little bit wide there. Richardson's able to run him out wide. Josh Smith and Reddy's also. Reddy's gone down the inside of Josh Smith.
Reddy, yeah.
Great move on the double R driver.
Yeah, obviously enjoying the cold conditions here, well into the evening here at Brands Hatch, but still Sandy Mitchell and ENAAM Ahmed out front. We'll try and catch up with them for you in a minute, with Rafael Martins running in third position. Are we going to see a maiden podium for Martins? You can see that chasing them, Toby Sowery and Colton Herter. There's Ricky Collard. Here is champion-elect Lando Norris in the 31. Seems a bit weird saying that 7th position might be enough for him to secure the championship, but at the moment it looks like that is the case.
It's looking that way because these guys are down the road. Collard's got a lot of work to do to catch these 5 drivers up. Norris just needs to sit there. He knows that he only has to sit one place behind Collard, so he'll just get his head down and stay out of trouble now. But Collard probably can see him in his mirrors and knows he has to catch this group of 5 leaders.
Well, they've both had trials and tribulations all the way through the course of the season. We're still not even at half distance yet. So there's the scores that we look at. Norris will move on to 3.942, 3.67. So the gap will be 27 points. And there are only 26 points available in the race. So it is nip and tuck. But of course, Norris has got the luxury of another race to go as well. Doesn't have to come out, does he, and do that one, because he could wind up in the situation, if he causes something, he might get penalty points, which could affect it. So,
that is true as well.
So we would have to say provisional champion if he does it in this race.
Exactly. I'm sure Carlin will want him to come out. Of course. Carlin will want to try and get the team championship, so every point counts. But you can see Sowery and Herter alongside each other. Sowery's trying to go on the outside. He's actually made that one work, so Sowery now moves up another place.
Sowery's been great, hasn't he, since he rejoined us? He's been really, really sharp.
Yeah.
He's been right up at the top end of it.
Yeah, he's done a great job. He did have a little bit of contact with James Paul in the previous race, which caused issues for them both. But look at the Carlin boys getting all excited, ready for the possibility of Norris winning this championship. The first year of the MSA Formula has been absolutely epic, hasn't it?
It's been a superb season that we've seen, and Lando Norris, the 15-year-old, doesn't turn 16 until the 13th of November, so he's got the fastest lap as well, 1:27.4, so he's not resting on his laurels at all. He knows that fastest lap will count for an extra point in the championship, and there he is. So Norris trying to close down on Ricky Collard. Both of them have seen good fortunes, both of them have some bad luck over the course of the race as well. And of course, Lando Norris has had a difficult week. Last weekend he was in horrendous trouble, wasn't he, racing elsewhere, and he's bounced back from that, really proved to be resilient. Yeah, doing the German F4 Championship, very similar cars to these. He had a really nasty accident whilst going for the lead. He ended up rolling through the gravel. He hit his teammate trying to go for the lead on the last lap, but he's obviously fit enough to race, and he came back here and he put it on the front row once again. Every single weekend he has been on the front row. That is an amazing stat to have, so he deserves it. He's done a great job this year. Yeah, not quite over yet. We had a very quick look there at Darius Carbailey. He's running down in 15th position. Pensive would be the word, wouldn't it, really, for the Carlin boys? You've got all the Carlin boys. You've got his trainer as well, who's obviously been working hard with him all year to make sure he's physically fit enough to drive one of these cars. Always warms him up before the race and qualifying, but look at him, fastest lap, 27.1, and he is closing on Collard. So we're getting into the closing stages of this one. It's still Sandy Mitchell out front from ENAAM Ahmed. I wonder which one of those two is going to take the points here. They're going to be gunning to try and close down on Dan Tickton's total, but here's Ahmed closing up. Mitchell's still the race leader. The gap between first and second, just 0.2 of a second. Now, these two are teammates, Phil. What's the vibe going to be between those two? Well, they've had some coming together already this season, but they've got some respect for each other. They've been learning all year. They're both young drivers. They've been learning off their experienced teammate, Ricky Collard. So that's been a fantastic guy to have to learn from on the data. But look at them now. They're out front, first and second. Ahmed is definitely going to want to go for this win. Mitchell also wants it. He hasn't had one since Thruxton, but Ahmed hasn't had one yet, so I am expecting him to make a move on his teammate. And obviously, like we said before, this is for the Rookie Championship. I think Ahmed is slightly ahead in the Rookie Championship, but I'm sure he just wants the overall win. That's what matters more than anything. There's a lot of kudos in that, isn't there? So we'll see whether Ahmed is starting to have a look. Comes offline, so Mitchell might have to start going defensive. A quick reminder that we've got SWB's Rafael Martins running in third position. The possibility of SWB getting on the podium here Toby Sowery might get a podium as well.
Yeah, exactly. That'd be fantastic for both those teams. SWB have worked so hard all year. Martin's been super fast. He's not had a great deal of luck, but he's in third place at the moment. And obviously Toby Sowery as well. He's also on the Autosport Young Driver of the Year award. He's going to be driving some DTM cars, a McLaren and an F2 car. So he's got to go out for that shootout. There's 6 of them that will be going for that. And Toby is in that, along with Ricky Collard. So 2 drivers from this championship are going for that big prize.
Says a great deal about this championship, which has had a fantastic first year. The clock ticks down. ENAAM getting closer. Sandy Mitchell, the young Scot, who we think will be back next year. And how much will that extra experience count for the youngster next year? Already taken race wins this year. And this is going to be a big confidence boost for him. He hasn't won it yet, but significantly, he's led for a long time. He's looking in his mirrors. He's got his teammate there. And he's doing the job out front. So this is going to be a big confidence boost for the Scot.
Yeah, this battle is closing up now. You've got Martins and Sowery definitely closing on these pair who are battling for the lead. We've also got Norris that's getting very close to Collard. I wonder if Collard is going to maybe try and back him up, but the problem is there is no one behind him, so even if he does back him up, there's no one to pass him. He needs to put a car in between the 2 of them.
Yeah, he does, doesn't he? So Collard, I think, will perhaps sense that the opportunity to take the championship to another race is ebbing away from him. He's in front of Norris. Can't really do a lot more than that, other than try and get on terms with Norris's teammate who's there, Colton Herter, immediately in front. Colton, in race number 1, Phil, we were commenting this earlier on, the 2 Carlin boys were just away down the road, weren't
Absolutely,
they?
Yeah, they really have found something recently. Those guys were in a different league in race 1, really worked hard to get their drivers and their car. Obviously, it's the first year any of these teams have had that car. They've worked really hard to make it work, but look, Collard is not sure what he's trying to do. He's not trying to get any heat in the tyres because the race has been long enough, but he is catching Herter. He does need to pass Herter very soon, but obviously Norris is going to put Collard under pressure. Ahmed's trying to go down the inside of his teammate Mitchell.
Well, this is Brands Hatch, of course, the spiritual home of Formula Ford racing, pre-slicks and wings, and this is the formula that's come out of the last iteration of Formula Ford, so it's really appropriate that these cars should be here and providing us with some splendid racing again. So what's Ahmed's plan going to be here?
Well, he's obviously going to be putting pressure on him. He's all over the mirrors of Mitchell's car. He would like to get his first win, especially at the last round of the year. He won 3 races last weekend in Estonia at the SMP F4 Championship, which again is very similar to these guys, just like what Lando was doing in Germany. He got 3 wins out of 3. He's going to want to make it another one at the Brands Hatch circuit in the British Championship, isn't he?
So he's used to winning in that championship. Once you've got that mindset going on, I guess you carry it forward.
Exactly. Once you've won one, you know how to win another. So let's see what...
Collard having a look at Herter there.
Yeah, exactly. Collard is just trying to put himself in Herter's mirrors to try and put him off, but it looks like Herter has got this one under control, but Norris is going with them.
So Collard in 6th position, Herter in 5th. If Collard goes up to 5th, he'll get 10 points. It'll be a further 4 points back to, well, there we go, 28 points at the moment, because Norris gets the extra point for fastest lap. So it's going to be 28, and we need to get it down effectively to 26 points for the championship to go into race 3. So Collard here trying absolutely everything that he can. You can see how late in the day we are from how the rear lights are resonating here on our camera. It is very late in the day. The lights disappearing very quickly indeed. And it's probably unusual for these guys to be racing at this point.
Exactly. They were all changing their visors before this race happened. They all had the dark visors because obviously it was much brighter earlier on. They all started putting the clear visors so they'd be able to see towards the end of this race. Collard has definitely caught Herter. He needs to pass him. He has to pass him to keep his championship alive. He's looking a lot closer. He needs to stay in the slipstream, but I'll tell you what, Norris is closer to Collard.
Yeah, Lando would just want to pass Collard, wouldn't he, to say, there you go, I've passed you, and I'm going to take the championship that way. Collard gets defensive. Lando goes to the outside line. Lando Norris doesn't need to do anything silly here. He'll challenge if he can go through. Interviewing the pair of them earlier. Look at a real pensive nail-biter, isn't it, for this one for the guys. But the out of the 2, Ricky Collard, he's the ebullient sort of Jack Russell character out of the 2. Lando seems a little bit more of the calculated Prost kind of character out of the pair of them.
Absolutely, yeah. Not like we said, Norris is very quick. He's put it on the front row every round, but also he's not been amazing in the reverse grid races, but he keeps picking up the points, and that's what
the way to do
championships.
it. So we reckon 2 more laps to go in this. I'm surprised it's gone the full distance here, because we had some problems in a preceding race where some repairs had to be made to barriers, and we were wondering, with the light going and the Brands Hatch curfew rapidly approaching, whether we'd get the race in. Again, Norris was having a look. Back with the race leaders. Sandy Mitchell's still there from ENAAM AHMED. Are we going to see an 11th hour attack from Ahmed? Is he going to have the pace as we head? Just look at the lap times from the pair of them on the last lap. 1:28.2 from Mitchell, 1:28.1 from Ahmed. But back to Herta, Collard and Norris running in 5th, 6th and 7th position. The other thing that could happen here is we might get a checker a little bit early, possibly.
We might do. At the moment, we should get 1 more lap, but they might have to put the checkered flag out. We have got another race to get underway after this one. Look at Collard, he's trying to, again, put himself in Herta's moves. He's a lot closer this time. He's much closer. He's going to try and make a move into the next corner, Westfield. He's got to get a run down the hill now, and we've got Sheen Curve coming up.
The last lap board is actually being prepared at the moment, so there might also be a checker as well, just in case of the timing. But I think it's the last lap board that's going out on the starting gantry as we continue to look at Ricky Collard fighting with Colton Herta to keep his championship alive and go into day 2 of the final meeting of the season. Here's the race leaders, though. Sandy Mitchell from ENAAM AHMED. Is it going to be a checker as they come across the line? No, it's the last lap board that goes out. So this will be the last lap of the penultimate race of the 2015 season, the inaugural MSA Formula Championship.
Look how close he is now. He's much closer to Herta. He's very good on the brakes coming into paddock. You've got Norris as well that's all over the back of him. But Collard's just dropped back a little bit on the exit of the corner. He needs to be close out of one corner, ready for the next corner.
Norris was thinking of having a look there as they went down into Graham Hill Bend. They'll be mindful of the exit there. Far too many track limits penalties over the years. Collard again in red, starting to have a look. But Herta, for my money, looking pretty comfortable here in this one. Collard's not going to do a lunge, although he knows that I guess it's do or die. But look at Ahmed going for the lead.
He's run alongside now. Is he going to try and outbrake him going into Hawthorne Bends? He's gone round the outside. Can he make it work? He did it at Druids. Has he done it at Hawthorne? Yes, he has. What a move from ENAAM AHMED.
Great move from the world karting champion. Goes through. This could be his first MSA Formula win. As Phil said, a hat-trick last weekend. Sandy Mitchell's going to be gutted, and he's coming under pressure from Rafael Martins, who's looking for that maiden podium for SWB. He's got Toby Sowery all over the back of him. The significant thing here is it's 3 rookie drivers, 1st, 2nd and 3rd.
Absolutely amazing. Fantastic racing from all these guys. Ahmed's managed to make that move stick round Hawthorne's, which is one of the most difficult corners on the circuit.
ENAAM AHMED is going to take his first win in the UK in cars, and he does so. Sandy Mitchell holds on for 2nd. It looks like Mitchell was going away at the end. Rafael Martins takes 3rd position for SWB. A magnificent 1-2-3, but we have to congratulate, as well as the winners, our maiden MSA Formula champion, and that is Lando Norris, who crosses the line in 7th place. Our heartiest congratulations to Lando and ENAAM on his first win. Rafael Martins for that podium, Sandy Mitchell for a great 3rd, but here is our champion.
Absolutely fantastic. Look at him as well. ENAAM AHMED, he's absolutely over the moon for his first win. Both world champions. Ahmed's won the race. Norris has won the championship. Both world championship champions from last year in karting, but Norris absolutely, thoroughly deserves that. He is going all the way. He's definitely going to be in Formula 1 in a few years' time.
He's so good to hear, and if you haven't heard him before, remember it was Philip Blue that told you that he's the man that's going to make it to F1. Lando Norris takes the title. He entertained us superbly last year in the Ginetta Junior Championship, and he was very close in that. It was a mega championship last year. Used that to gain the car racing experience, and now moves into MSA Formula. We've got other drivers, of course, racing in Ginetta Junior, who may well come and join us in MSA single-seaters next year. But Lando Norris, 15 years of age, comes from Glastonbury, world karting champion like ENAAM AHMED last year, won't turn 16 until the 13th of November. I'm not sure whether we're going to get any more racing done here today, but here are the winners coming in. This effectively victory lane. James Poole goes through, but ENAAM AHMED is the winner, and Lando Norris is the 2015 MSA Formula champion. Carlin, the team behind that victory. So let's take a look at confirmation of the result. A maiden win for ENAAM AHMED. Sandy Mitchell takes 2nd after leading for so long. SWB on the podium with Rafael Martins, Toby South.